to Pro League. We have 2 weeks of cross division between Division A and B before we head to playoffs at CWL Miami. Of course, I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined by Nameless Study and Pac-Man here on the desk. I think first off, we got to give a big congratulations back-to-back 100 Thieves, our CWL Anaheim champions. Congratulations to them. And right off the bat, I want to know from all of you guys, starting with Nameless, did you think we would see a back-to-back from a team this season?
I knew it was possible for 100 Thieves to do it just because they looked amazing. I actually picked the United to win the last event, and they obviously were very underwhelming. So 100 Thieves, they fixed their search and destroy. That was a big concern of mine, and they went back to back. And like Clint said, they look like the perfect team right now.
Yeah, I thought they were definitely going to go back to back. The practice that they put in the 2 weeks that they were here, just working on all those S&Ds, definitely showed at the event. They went from the best respawn team to one of the best S&D teams. When you're doing that, I'm expecting back to back at that point.
I mean, I thought a team could go back-to-back. I was with Ant and Ness, though. I picked United to win that tournament. Obviously, they did not, and congratulations to 100 Thieves fixing their search and destroy. They just looked incredible that weekend, and, I mean, run it up, right? They did their thing.
That they did. All right, let's pull our division standings up, take a look at what is going on, because, again, cross-division will lead into those playoffs in Miami. So you can see it there. Optic on top, United on top as well in their respective divisions, but some of these close, like FaZe and Gen G, tied up in their wins and losses. 100 Thieves, I think, noticeably enough, way ahead of Heretics there, Division B. So they've got some wiggle room. But look at our schedule. We're going to start with Units versus UYU to kick off the day and kick off this first week of cross division. And on that note, I kind of want to focus on UYU first. So we've seen a lot of changes that occurred in those 3 days after Anaheim. And that UYU roster got a complete overhaul, save for methods. So Pac, how do you feel about what happened there?
I mean, I feel like the last UYU iteration was horrible, right?
Yeah.
I actually do. Like, it's a completely terrible team, so they couldn't have gotten much worse. With this version, I do feel like, though, they just threw together a bunch of players. Like, they had to form a roster really quickly. They picked up another AR, moving methods off of it. They have, to me, what is a really slow team, and it's going to depend a lot on if Nicky D, if Classic can be that aggressive grapple sog and do his role correctly. It's just tough for him, I think, in this team.
Do you think? Oh, go ahead.
This team is going to be the question mark for me. This is basically a team that I, myself, was in a situation back when I used to play for Denial. It's a team that nobody wanted. That's what makes this team going to be scary. So it's like, you won't expect any of these players to just be performing at a high level, but as long as they believe in each other, then that's what's going to really matter. Because for them to pull out wins, just start getting that confidence between each other, that all starts with the self-team, not what anybody else thinks about this team.
That was different, though, because you finished second at Champs. You already had good placing. Nado finished fourth. He was on a team that beat Complexity in that season. This team is not performed at all as individuals, with the exception of Classic.
Yeah.
Exception of Classic. They're just a mishmash put together team. I think they're in a tough spot.
Now, Nameless, let's talk about Units, because they also had some fairly substantial changes, not quite as many as UYU, but still a very different looking roster. How do you feel about them? What's your thoughts for Units?
So for Units, I mean, I don't really have high hopes for these guys. Obviously, I think, Joe and Rated got left in a situation where they were the scraps of their team and had to find players to play with. So they pick up Nelson, Cammy, and Weeman. Nelson was a substitute on Splice. He had some all right maps, but overall, he wasn't really performing at that high of a level. And then Cammy and Weeman, obviously, they haven't been in the Pro League this entire season. They had that great event at the very first one, and then since then, haven't heard much about these guys. So Units, I think, going up against some of these Pro League teams is going to be very tough for them to beat them. I think this is a Champs play for this team, like maybe make a run late in the game at Champs. But, yeah, right now they have a lot to learn, a lot of catching up to do.
Now, Pac-Man, do you have, looking at both of these teams, do you have hope for either of them? Maybe perhaps what Nameless said on a Champs run later on, but going forward?
I have hope for both.
Yeah.
I mean, this game is heavily based on teamwork, so if either of these teams can get the teamwork down, I feel like they both have the players necessary to win, maybe not win a tournament, but to go far in a tournament. I think those Units guys are pretty good players. They almost qualified for the league to start the league on Team Sweden, with the exception of Cammy, but they're pretty solid. They just have to come together.
Well, and study to that point then, too, to what Pac-Man just said, there were teams that almost qualified. I mean, FaZe Clan didn't qualify. So you have these players there who almost did it. So maybe Weeman and them can come in and surprise us. Do you think we can see something unexpected out of them?
Honestly, I don't really know how to judge this match because, like I said, UYU's got 4 new players on their team. The only thing I'm going to say is that UYU have players with more experience on that part. So you coming up against playoffs, and then you got champs. So if you're thinking about that, I'm going to favor, in this series, UYU, because they have more experience. Simple as that.
Nameless, let's talk about Rated. Do you think he's going to need to be a leader for his team?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, just rated as a player, he's been that guy in the past, and sort of like what Tommy does with some of those up-and-coming European players, just be that leader for these guys and mold them into place. Rated's had a pretty tough year from start to finish. Yeah. There's a lot of drama in a lot of his teams, and they never really could get it going. So he's definitely gonna have to rise to the occasion, be a leader, and get back to becoming a superstar AR player once again.
He's switching over to a Maddox now.
So he's in a position to do it.
They picked up Weeman, and a Weeman runs the main ICR for them. So now he's in a spot where he has to lead by example too, because he's on a team where he's had Scraps and Brack. Both guys were going off with the Maddox on his team. Now he has to be that guy.
I'm actually curious because I remember Nelson in the beginning of the year, who's like a really good SOG player, and then when he joined Splice for that substitute role, he's running Maddox. He's playing for this team. I would like him to run a SOG. He's a lot more aggressive, able to keep up the pace, and I think he's going to be a lot more comfortable with these players. They're all European, so he's got to be feeling a lot more comfortable, because on Splice, obviously, there's a lot of American players that has to be clashing heads just in general, because you never team with players like that.
Well, we've kind of seen temperament issues, if you will, before Pac-Man with Rated. Are you worried that could kind of rear its head again and maybe cause issues down the line?
Not with this team, because now he knows there's nowhere to go. This is the last version of the roster he's going to play with in Black Ops 4, so now it's just about winning. He just has to figure out how to make this team the best possible version of itself. I don't think that it's going to be an issue with this version of the team.
So looking at these two teams, Nameless then, UYU and Units, of course, which one do you think has more potential then? We've kind of talked about it a little bit already, but Units, UYU, which one do you think?
I don't really know how to gauge it yet. I would pick UYU, obviously, because I've played against those players more often. I've watched them win championships. Phantoms has shown that he's a pretty solid AR player, and then you also have Saints, Methods, and Classic, who those players have been around for a very long time, right? Like Saints had a couple good weeks here in the Pro League. Classic won an event, and Methods has also been an MVP of a tournament before. So I do think these guys can put it together and become a pretty solid roster in the weeks coming.
Well, we will have to see Units versus UYU about to get things started. So we're going to hand it over to our casters, Ben and Chance.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you to the guys on the desk as well. An interesting way to start cross division. Yeah. Of course, there was a lot of roster mania. The desk, of course, touched on a lot of that. But what's very interesting is the conversation you were having with me before we came live, which was about players who didn't qualify for the league, now in the league, players that did qualify, not in the league. And this first series kind of sums that up perfectly.
7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 players in this lobby did not originally qualify for the league. And that's not a shot necessarily, right? Because we have had a ton of players, or teams even at this point, that didn't qualify that are great. FaZe, basically, or 3 out of 5 of the guys on that team didn't qualify. They are fantastic. Simp, well, didn't qualify because of outstanding circumstances. Wasn't old enough, but has been fantastic. So it's not a shot to say that, hey, in this lobby, 7 out of 10 didn't make it. But it just kind of indicates of like what roster mania has been kind of on the year as a whole, but especially this last go around of like UYU, for example, basically nuked their entire roster, 4 new guys on the squad, and they're grabbing from every different direction. The other side of the table, Units, the top 12. Top 12 was where Cammy and Weeman placed in the open bracket at Anaheim. Granted, they've had better placings. I think they got second back at London. Like, they've bounced around a little bit, but like Mind Freak has been the team consistently winning, and it's not like Units even pulled from there or pulled from other players that were in the Pro League previously. They just took a reach down in the depths, grabbed these players up.
It is worth mentioning, a couple of them, of course, with a good placement at the start of the year. You go back to Vegas, and the roster just completely slipped my...
Team Swing.
Team Swing, thank you.
Team Swing.
Team Swing, yeah. You go all the way back there, and you're looking at them, and you say, well, it's a little unfortunate that they didn't make the Pro League, but that was a very, very long time ago, and things have changed since back then.
Right, and again, that was Weeman and Olsen top 6. I think Olsen looked disgustingly good. We've seen him with Splice. So, again, it's not a shot. These players are capable. And frankly, if you want to be optimistic, it's exciting, right? Because we're going to see him at playoffs. We're going to see him at champs. Well, at least in, like, the losers portion of playoffs, or depending on how the seeding works out. But they will be there. And this is a huge opportunity for him, right? Because, like, I don't even think we've ever casted over Cammy before. So this is it. This is the shot.
Here's the issue, though. When you hear Rated on Hot Mic say, yeah, I wanted to join Mind Freak, doesn't really fill you with a massive amount of confidence when you're watching this Units team. And, you look at some of the names on UYU and you say, well, I've seen these guys around for the most part. I've been watching Call of Duty Esports, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what to expect, which is, like, in a way, exciting as well, that we're watching essentially 2 brand new teams now.
Effectively. I like UYU. Yeah. I think the overarching storyline is like they all have something to prove, a chip on their shoulders. It's all players that have been dropped or rearranged or whatever has happened to them on the course of the year. and they need to kick it back up, right? Like, I think Classic's a guy, handful of chips he's won, including this year, just 2 or 3 events ago, and now he's gone his way down. He got dropped from his team, so he's trying to bump up his stock. You got B-Man and Cammy, their big appearance on the main stage in the Pro League. Come and make a name for yourself.
Seaside Hardpoint, of course. Map number 1, first hill about to be concluded, and it is Units that have built themselves a nice lead, 35-9, and rotation is in. And the back spawn is currently in favor of UYU. That would have been a nice gunfight for Units to win. Not going to be the case, as now UYU chipping away at the lead.
Yeah, Saints and Classic working together. Played together in the past. You have to imagine the chemistry, easy to pick up on for those 2 players. But now Units has moved inside the hill. Bunch of body is round. Classic, though, has returned to the hill. Gets chopped down in fairly swift order. But UYU with the back spawns, I was going to say, should be good to hold the hill. And then Cammy comes and picks up 3.
I think more importantly here for Units is holding Barrel's side, making sure you can at least keep UYU spawning as far away as possible. They've done that. And this challenge on the hill is massive. Weeman was big there for Units with the double kill. Bear in mind that time is chalking down. 15 seconds left, and you can already see Units ready and waiting on the new hill.
Yeah, those actually massive stretches of kills, right? Especially Cammy again, picking up 3 inside the hill before finally getting the 4th and then shut down. And, well, you got a fairly small lead, only 12 points, but going into this hill, when you got the lockdown, you have to imagine you're going to be good on board to pick up at least 30 or 40 seconds. And UYU, their main job is just try to contest as much as possible. Players try to go up top yellow, they get cut down. You try to go anywhere to break this hill, you get cut down.
Yeah, Nelson's doing 360s as well, which is always,
it helps.
always a nice benefit there. He finds the kill, traded out, but now the lead's starting to develop, and this is why Fountain Hill is so crucial. If you didn't know that already, where have you been all year? This has been such an important hill on this map specifically. As now the rotation to Barrels coming through, and once again, it is Units ready and waiting.
You got Joe already just playing patient, maybe expecting players to come surging past, because 18 seconds, if you get these kills, you don't need to push out too far. You just want to hang around inside of Barrels, and everyone making the swarm. And it comes down to a 1v1 gunfight. Blast is on top, but again, they had enough time on the clock over from Fountain that the new hill hasn't even popped yet. So, well, Units, they have another shot to crack.
This time, though, there will be more reinforcements for UYU. The score 100, just 38. As now UYU look to put themselves in a bit of a better situation, and Blast could really be a key component to this comeback. 180 away from streaks, the stun lands, backs out of the hill, looking to just pick up at least a couple of EKAs. One would do. Nelson is there. Blast playing very safe. I don't want to play too safe, though, as in-fly Units, but he may have just gone a little too soon. At least finds the lightning. That would be big for them, but Units break.
Yeah, it was like the ultimate commitment. He just wants to get a shot, hope his teammates pick up the kills. They fall, and he has 2 choices. Back down, play hardcore for the streaks, or just go for it. And, well, he does find some semblance of success. But either way, you talk about success. Units run away with the game effectively. Maybe they got to worry about Blast, who does have his Tempest, does have that lightning strike, but otherwise they have just been full speed ahead. A nice set of rotations and a 75-point lead.
First rotation, I hate to point it out, but it was all kind of fingers pointing at Classic back on the LG days of 4 and 13 start here. As a big stun comes through, and you can say bye-bye to the Tempest. That's going to have no effect whatsoever. Units walk straight through.
The stuns actually for UYU have probably been the saving grace. It was Cammy that picked up a 3-piece. He gets stunned out on Old Hill to shut down his streaks. That is multiple stuns coming into this hill to help them break, and that is in, well, with tandem of the lightning strike. Of course, when they make it here, Weeman earned a lightning gun of his own effectively, and Nolson, well, on the outside, I was expecting to die, finally gets shut down, and UYU break through, at least just for the moment.
Blast looking at maybe earning more streaks. 300 points is what he needs now. There's a big fight going on the other side, highlighted on the minimap. Methods will fall. It was Nolson that picks him up, and Blast is going to be challenged here. He's going to slide across, wins the fight. 160 now. All he needs. He should be good to rotate. He has Classic there, and Classic's going to have to be bait. You want to make sure Blast earns more streaks.
Keep in mind, UYU has to go fast, not just for the streaks, but they're getting pinched inside the hill. The players for Units have actually come through Barrels, so the hill lockdown is there. You see Blast, his teammates are falling. He is working very hard with Classic, trying to bait him out to get these streaks. And, well, frankly, when they get there, it might just be the Joe Show trying to get the tacos, does not connect, and you see the kill feed. Blast did fall. No streaks for him.
More importantly, Units still holding a big chunk of time. So 30 seconds left, 161.85, and more importantly, again, units holding from barrels. It's going to make it so tough because every time players fall, in fact, as I say that, now UYU actually spawning over towards P1, so a foot race over towards Fountain, which was where units had a ton of success in the first rotation. Joe finds himself now in a 1v2. It will be a 1v4 shortly. This is just going to become, how long can he buy time?
Well, this is the ultimate job of staying alive. Spots out at least one, but he gets spotted as well. Keep in mind, they got TAC 5 on him as well, so hopeless situation for Joe. And, well, maybe he's bought his teammates a little bit of time to push up, but Wee Man was the most aggressive one. He gets cut down. You got Nolson that's on an island by himself. This is looking like a very solid setup for UYU, and if they get these 50 seconds, right back in the game.
Yep, that's the crazy part about Seaside, right? It just takes one full hold, get that full 60, and well, as you said, right back in the game. It'll be a 20-point game, actually, if UYU is able to hold all of this time. Push is coming through. You have the utility there if you want to use it. Classic decides that's not the right time. That's not available for him, but the kill still come through. Good use of saving it. Now Method's working towards some streaks of his own. 265 away. There's been a lot of chimes and chances where UYU have been close to streaks and not earned them. There, another one.
And he had the Purifier as well to move into the Barrels Hill, so playing his life would have been huge, but just in the nick of time, someone from Units is there to shut him down. The grab slam gives us the tacos, if that was the thing anymore. Classic with 3. And frankly, he wasn't having a great game, and now he's 15 and 17, potentially getting some streaks of his own. That hill time's gonna pop, and he'll be about, I don't know, 200 points away. Methods with the Flames just trying to break inside the hill. You got a lot of action going on there.
Just trying to hold from the front. Unfortunately, no one watched his left, so he will drop, and this is a big opportunity for Units to just fly straight through. War Machine will be earned by Saints, but he's not gonna be able to put it to use just yet. Also, flak on a lot of the Units players as the kill feed lights up red once again. UYU breaks straight back.
Yeah, I will say the specialists this game haven't been great. Outside of Classic with the 3-piece, I think the Purifier picked up 1 and a team kill. I think between 2 Tempests, we've seen 1 kill come out for the both of them. The TAC 5s have been on point, admittedly. But other than that, it's been a bit of a struggle. You heard the War Machine getting rained out. No kills pop up. And, well, UYU, again, they have resurged their game. Cammy picking up the back punches, but to no avail. UYU, again, got the full 60, had a solid barrels off the back of Classic's grab slam. Wow. Right back in the game.
So, first to find a couple of kills on the rotation. It's a 10-point game as we rotate into the final rotation of hills. Units, for now at least, control. Blast his second Tempest. Hasn't hit a shot yet. Finally connects with 1, and that may actually chain. Nelson does find a couple with nades, though. That's going to slow down the UYU push, and well, with War Machine available for Nelson, 400 away from streaks, he could put it to use now.
And he's going to have at least 3 players right in front of him and just run with the storyline. The specialists have not been great. Admittedly, not a great spot for him to be in, with 3 players just flying around the corner. I think really the equipment has been on point. Joe looking for the cheeky third. His teammate has to give him the help.
Opened up this hard point with a double, and he may close it out with a double as well. Now look at what that's done. 145 away from streaks. He's thinking about the slam. Does he want to try and commit? Doesn't need to. 30 points, all he needs. Joe, honestly, could just have secured the game here for Units. UYU have rotated first. Cammy, though, is in a nice position as he comes through dark. There's a player just to his left. Classic will fall. This the chance to break.
I mean, 1 good grab slam for Joe. Not even the streaks is what I'm less
concerned
concerned about. Yeah, just break the hill, you win the game, right? You only need 14 points. You got the grab slam to make it happen. Unfortunately, he's by himself, and UYU, they know he's here. Joe's got 0 help, and yeah, he tries to make the commitment with the grab. He is 0 for 2 on the map with those. And UYU, well, they might have an opportunity in this game unless Units, break through.
It's Seaside chance. It's Seaside. Buckle in, this could be interesting. Still UYU holding spawns for new. You just have to get to the point. All you have to do is get to the point where Units can no longer win the game. As it stands, they can. They need 14 seconds, but the time is ticking. UYU have held, and Units are still spawning out. Saints getting close to streaks, but I don't even think it's going to matter at this point. What do you have available to break the hill? Absolutely nothing.
You got your guns, and you tried this once. You had no success. Methods is spotting out the information. He's already got Phantoms in the back watching the spawns effectively. So they got the setup that they want, but there is a ton of pressure coming around the back, and, well, it's Phantoms. That's the man to deal with it.
Oh, and he sees 3 players pushing. Blast has come back to help him. It's Joe. he just grapple off? He did. Joe goes off the map, and now Blast is dealing with it. Nelson, last man. It's a good hold so far. Lead change about to come through. UYU 237 to 236. Saints still playing for those streaks, but are the streaks even going to matter? It's one more attempt for Units to try and break through. The spawns have been anchored. The kills coming through. Joe, the last man available to break, and Units have done it.
They've got through, and now it's UYU that's got to sprint. They're going to have to flood through checkers, and you're going one by one. You might just fall. Rated's on back fountain. The nade doesn't make a difference. And Units, first map for some of these players in the Pro League, and they're 1-0.
Good composure. Great composure, although I think it's safe to say across the board, terrible specialists.
Very sloppy game.
Yep, and there's a lot of chances where a few players fall just one-off streaks, or some specialists that could have been used a lot better. Either way, though, it is Units that take it. It looked for a moment as if UYU had done what was necessary. A good rotation to fountain, good spawn control after the second hill, but they get broken through. Joe and Rated find the kills at the end.
And we do have the last minute of the replay to show you, and I'll say, UYU, once you get this fountain set up, unless there's a specialist coming on board or a score streak or something exterior, you should be good. But then Methods ended up playing this fairly passively. Of course, you don't want to fall because then you end up spawning out. But at the same time, you see all these players able to get around the back. But then, frankly, another thing that goes UYU's way, Joe just goes flying straight off the map. Yeah. So he kills himself. He's going to have to spawn out. Whee! So there he goes. And then the next players don't really end up getting the kills. Like the hold from the back from UYU is actually solid. Even on the front, it was fairly solid. They give up maybe a little bit of time, but it seemed like an impossible spot for Units to be in.
This should be impossible. There's 10 seconds for you to try and break through here. How does it collapse? Well, Saints is here on the hill. The gunfight's still won at the back. Saints gets collapsed through because someone loses their gunfight over towards yellow. Joe and Rated both pick up kills. Blast Force as well. Rated with the double. He actually finds 3 at the end. A phenomenal break from the Units. In fact, there's 4. Does he find 5? Great showing from Rated towards the end. And I know Jess caught up with Rated and some of the boys.
Thanks, Ben. That's right. I did catch up with Rated, and we spoke mostly about the roster changes that Units made. And Rated said, yeah, as you can see, we required some new hard carries. He also said, on paper, this new roster is worse, but it's all about teamwork. You've got to trust your teammates, and this is the best team we've ever had for teamwork. When I asked him what he's expecting for this series versus UYU, he said, oh, we're going to absolutely violate them. But that's all I got for now. Ben and Chance, back over to you.
Thank you so much, Jess. Chance, I called it perfectly. I said before we came live, this has Game 5 written all over it. I was like, it's going to be a 250, 249 hardpoint. Wasn't quite that, but it was close. A couple of round 11s, a Game 5 control. We're going the distance, so buckle up. It's going to be a long day.
And I will say, I think I even tweeted out like my prediction, UYU, because I think instinctually it's like the name recognition more so is there. But then when I started thinking about it, maybe going Units actually makes more sense. Like, again, you got a couple top 6 placings on the year, like right out of the bat for Units. Olsen was there on Team Sween. Weeman was there on Team Sween. Cammy's definitely kind of like the mystery man on the squad, but even Joe and Rated, they've had some solid, not as good as they want placements on the year, but they've cracked the top 8, right? So they've been there, and then the players on UYU. I mean, the organization, I think it was top 16, top 12, top 12, top 16, but it is just a wild mismatch of players. So everyone's fresh.
I feel more so for Units, it might just be the one last-ditch effort, right? Give it one good attempt for, Rated and Joe. You heard Rated on Hot Mic before the show. You didn't see. He was kind of saying, well, yeah, it's probably the last time you're going to see me and Joe teaming together. So they almost have that we have nothing to lose mentality anymore. And, sometimes it can be that which can kind of help you through and maybe give you at least one good performance with 2 events left.
Well, if they want another good performance, obviously the map 1 went their way. Maybe specialist usage.
Well,
something to take a look at, maybe from both teams. Again, Classic went off with his grab slam.
He was the only one.
3.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. I think we had 2 Tempest kills between at least 3 total uses between the 2 players. Blast used 2. I think Weeman used 1. I think I saw 2 kills come in.
Right.
War Machine was effectively non-existent. I think it only picked up 1. We saw Joe just over 2 on the grab slams. Really not good across the board.
It is worth mentioning, further credit deserved for Classic. It was a slow start. He does get the grab slam. And not only was it just, he got 3. He got 3 on rotation to barrels, which actually brought them back into the game. So it was a very, very important grab slam he actually managed to produce and pull off. But it doesn't really matter because he still lost map number 1 anyway. So we head over to map 2. Search and Destroy on Arsenal with Units up 1-0 in the series. And when it comes to kind of the search and destroy. I have no idea what to expect from either of these two teams.
Very, very true. Maybe you could say for specific players, but as a team, no. And, well, you talk about a very different at the least strat coming out. That was a 5-man stack over towards A going against UYU. And I'm going to say, if you're units, I don't know how you prepare, because UYU, again, coming from 4 different rosters effectively.
You don't.
You just, it's guesswork.
Nelson will be in charge of the sniping duties, and well, finally gets the hit marker on Classic on bomb, but not really the player that is the problem. It's the players at gun need to focus on. Cammy's going to push further forward. There's one for Nelson. Can he find 2? Jump, but it doesn't matter. The distraction was enough. Bomb diffused, rated hopped on, and job done for units. Round 1.
And that's probably a round where UYU, hey, all 3 of us just go flying at the same time. We know at least 2 of us are going to die, but if we kill the man on bomb, we should be good to go, because I think there wasn't even much time on the clock left, that if the sniper's last one standing, you defuse. And, well, they make the call to go at the same time, but just not enough pressure. And obviously, units had the fairly solid setup. So even though they 5-stacked A, the retake was there.
Looks as if for units, obviously it's just 1 round, but the game plan is just roam around together and just find a first blood. We'll just work it out as we go.
What better way to work on your teamwork if you just 5-stack everything the whole time? You'll get used to it. And I will say, this is an incredibly important series.
All right, Nelson, calm it down.
I love that shot. I love the attempt. I really do.
Sorry.
But an incredibly important series for momentum. You get 4 matches this week, and then boom, Miami, that's it. And then you get break and then champs.
Sure.
You have an incredibly limited amount of LAN experience in series to get the ball rolling. So, I mean, whoever wins this, I mean, it's a start that's nice, but if you lose, it's a dagger. Especially in my mind.
If you lose 3-0, the ultimate dagger.
Well, right.
We'll see. We'll see as the round starts to develop still. 5v5, and bear in mind, that nade was very well thrown from Blast. That will find a pick, and now it's a 4 versus 2, 4 versus 1, as Blast looking to maybe put himself on a bit of a highlight reel. Wee Man will drop, and it was Blast who picked up the kill as well. Good sniping from him, and a good round from UYU.
Solid stuff coming out from Blast, and nice back-to-back round. 2 rounds on defense, which in Search and Destroy is definitely more back and forth, but if you're thinking this control, you'd be wrong. Because, well, we have a lot of snipers on the map, but Blast, again, just...
I still think...
Getting some kills, man.
I still think the sniping in control, when it gets down low lives, certain maps, Gridlock's definitely one of them. You could even maybe get away with it on this map, too. Something that you may see teams experiment with.
Teams, I think, have strayed away from the thermal ICR shot. What about the thermal paladin?
Oh.
Try to work some magic over on Gridlock, potentially. I don't think this is the time of year to try these things out.
I 100% do.
Maybe a couple months ago would have been nice.
Try it now. What have you got to lose these next 2 weeks? Who cares, right? You may as well give it a good old try here.
I mean, you need seeding for playoffs.
If you're guaranteed top 4 or you're guaranteed bottom 4, you may as well try something.
I think that's a try. I think the seeding definitely is going to make a difference. Nelson eventually wins the sniper battle. I think the only team locked in right now is 100 Thieves. Or actually, I take that back. I think E6 is locked in the bottom 4, won't make it out of straight to playoffs, and I think 100 Thieves is locked in the top. I think other than that, or at least in one of the divisions.
100 Thieves is second in the division.
But of the teams we have here, with the paper we got at the start of the day, was the 8 teams we have here from the 2 different divisions. So the 8 teams we're going to be casting over.
Gotcha.
Those are the only 2 assurances. I think it's E6 can't make the top 4. Now I'm going to have to double check this because we're too far gone, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
No, I trust you. This round is essentially over. 1v3. Saints are full. There it is. Nelson shoots him in the back. Units go 2-1 up. Another defensive round win.
I was going to say 3 for 3 on defense, and well, granted, again, the sniper battles are obviously important, right? Blast goes off the previous round. That's the main reason, or pretty much the only reason your team won. This round, Nelson wins that sniper battle. You take that man out. You get a nice little, not quite man advantage. There's a 4v4 at the moment, but you stabilize. As soon as you don't have to worry about the sniper on Arsenal, that does make things a little bit easier to the point where you have a cheeky little smile on the face.
I was going to say, smiles. Rated smiling. It's been a while since we've seen that on a main stage. But all positive vibes. Cammy 0-3. Weeman 0-3. Joe 0-3. I do want to point that out.
Hey, 2-1 up.
It is a 2v5 as is. Does not matter, though. A couple of EKAs there. You can tell that just by the progression. Towards the specialist is, well, Cammy, enjoy your 0-4. Rated drops. Wee Man drops. There's another 0-4. Joe, can you go 3 for 3 0-4s? Well, you have Nolson alive, who is sniping. But it's a 2v5, and I think, Chance, I think this is going to be 4 rounds of 4 where the defense wins.
Oh, well, Nolson, well,
yeah, he's dead.
would have been close if he hit the collat. He doesn't, and Joe is going to fall
Get a kill!
in order.
Just one! No! That's what, 0-12 for 3 players here on the units?
Got the triple
start.
donut.
Good start.
We are working our way to a full box. Get some nice Krispy Kreme.
It's a dozen right now. What are we going for, 2 dozen?
Well, I'm saying we have 3 donuts right now. Was my so 0-12 certainly, so that would be the dozen, but 3 donuts right now. Probably get that for like, I don't know, like $2.
Couple bucks. Yeah.
Get a nice
Sounds about right.
glazed. I like the
Glazed,
chocolate.
you don't like a jam donut? Like a jelly donut?
I don't like that. The texture, it weirds
Really?
me out.
What about-
Biting into a donut and having like,
What about chocolate?
I'll eat anything chocolate. I don't believe I've ever had that. I'm a very simple man.
Oh, hit marker from
Nolson.
Nolson. Oh, swing and a miss. Go on, 3rd time's the charm. Or, you know, you just throw a plus grenade at him. That might work too.
I would definitely go for that. Unless there's a trophy system down, but you're hitting shots like that. Who even needs the nade, Ben?
Oh, he does.
Well, Nolson does, and honestly, he should get a kill.
Oh, okay. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Blast. I believe Wee Man and Joe did get a kill. Cammy's still looking for one as Blast is
All headshots.
beaming. You want to see Cammy just fly forward here and just try and find a kill. Just for confidence if nothing else. not like that. Blast, get back on the map.
I can't believe he got back on.
It's a 2v1. It's a 2v1. It's all down to Nolson. All he has is a pistol. He's lost it. Blast takes over the search. Wow. What a round.
That is just 2 players from UYU winning their one-on-one gunfights when the push came in. All headshots, I think, from the snipers this round. There's the first from Blast. Connects with the second as well. The second was a much more difficult shot.
Just
Reaction time on point, times it with the flinch. Blast is taking at least 5 down with the snipe, maybe a couple with the pistol.
He's pretty good at search.
Yes, he is. There was a rumor a couple of years ago that he might be a decent search player. Turns out, yeah. Blast ain't bad. 8 kills.
8 and 2.
Joe and Wee Man off the donut cam, so
Cammy's still there, though. He's holding on to the joining the agency dreams and beliefs. Nolson, he's going for the ambitious shots. Got to be careful. Blast is just 200 away from streaks.
I mean, that's my that's my analysis.
Okay.
I don't even know how he shot him, so I'm not entirely mad at the hit marker because I just don't know how he hit him. Perfect centering.
Speed. Rated goes down. Surely the trade. Joe does get it. 4v3. Nade out for Blast. There's already one planting Nolson. Just aim higher. Wee Man drops. Nolson gets out with his life. 4v2. UYU starting to run away with this search if they win this round, which you would expect them to, unless Nolson can try and open things up. Don't hold your breath for Cammy getting a kill, because he's 0-6, and streaks now earned for UYU.
Very solid round. You get the 4v2 in the end. They make the call. Don't let them run away. We need to get Blast these streaks at all costs, and leave one man in the back as the safety assurance. And some nice shots coming in. Hit markers, no hit markers. And I think that's the first time where you said just aim higher, where it's like legitimate of
Just aim higher.
you were legitimately just aiming lower than you should have. Quick sensitivity check from Saints, making sure he's like, oh, 6'6" or whatever he plays on. Okay.
It's not like
Just making sure, because only 4 and 3. Just had to double check.
Nolson and Blast again. Just teasing each other. Nolson has to be careful because when he is sliding, he's losing just a little bit of sight. Now the lightning to open things up. Cammy, welcome to the agency. That one, he had nothing to do about it. 0-7. Not this debut search and destroy performance you want. And your first search in the league. Nolson looking to find any pick he can. It's 3v4 at this point. It's not gone well. Rated drops. There's a Hellstorm as well. You don't even need to invest it. It's a 3 versus 1. Blast has tagged him up. Nice shot. Joe left at Jet. Phantoms finds the final pick, and UYU have just gone straight through him, steamrolled through him.
Blast is obviously having a phenomenal game. I will say, if I'm Methods, I don't know if I would ever go on that jet head glitch again. Because in my mind, I saw him there, and I was like, we already saw what happened against Heretics. That didn't go well, so I was like, I bet he dies here. Like, he's an AR. He's played this map hundreds of times, especially in scrims. I know he gets kills when he's around Jet, but in that moment, I saw him there, and I was like, he's going to die. I thought he was going to get sniped. Instead, someone else gets the kill, but maybe a sore spot.
Well, he's not smiling. Everyone else is. They moved a little bit better in the UYU camp, and rightfully so. They made game 2 not really that interesting.
I would say I've enjoyed the sniping.
The sniping has been fun. Everything else has left a little bit to be desired.
The hit markers have been insane.
I do want to point out he is 11-2.
And honestly, he probably should have about 15 kills right now if you just give him the actual kills. Another hit marker. I swear.
That's tough.
He has probably hit 80% of his shots, including all the wild ones he's taken, and gotten hit markers on half of them.
The hit marker he got on Nolson a couple of rounds ago was absolutely bonkers. But it's the 3v2. Units do have bummed down, so maybe potential for a comeback. And Cammy found his first kill this round, so he'll sit at 1 and 8. Leeman looking for the second. Compare the sniper success. You definitely give it to UYU, and arguably comfortably. But the unit's still in the game.
I mean, if it wasn't for the hit markers, UYU would have this round. 2 different players, 2 different hit markers. You would have had first blood on Nolson. You kill the guy coming out of lobby.
Both seems a little unfair too.
The second one maybe less so, but the first one, Nolson's jumping up down. Like if he's jumping in the window, hit marker, you shoot him in the stomach. But he was like on the back the back stairs. So like, it seemed close. Could we get a damage check as well? Blast has 2,400, and he has 11 kills. 150. I'm gonna do math. You have to cast.
Yeah, okay. You do that. Meanwhile, Nelson looking to snipe over towards B. No one home just yet. Oh, as I say that, there's the peak. But bear in mind, Blast does have the Hellstorm.
So 1,650 would be the damage required if you hit all the snipe shots and get 11 kills. We know he's gotten one with the lightning, so that would just be a straight 150. You get an extra 800 damage in the mix. And I know he's done some pistol work, but that's at least like, what, 6 or 7 hit markers?
Oh no! Nolson! That was a nade that looked like mine. Throw it straight at the wall, and that means no one can check the bomb, but somehow they've actually managed to get at least a little bit of sight control, but Blast is still alive, and that could be a problem. Nolson swing and a miss. Methods finds 2. Now Blast wants to try and take the fight. It's a 2v2 after the absolute chaos. Now a 2v1, and Nolson connects with the snipe, which will see units stay alive again. They'll give Nolson the defuse, puts him closer towards streaks of his own. Of course, all UYU will see that. They know Nolson, the high priority target, and Blast is going to have to deal with him this next round.
And of course, for units to win this game, need 2 more rounds. And depending on the success Nolson has, he might be able to earn a War Machine. It's getting very close, so it's not just the streaks in the back of your mind. I think he's probably only 2 kills off.
How close is Blast?
That's actually, he has to have it. Or no, maybe.
I think he's going to be.
I was thinking damage. 2,400 damage, not 2,400 score. He's got to be.
He's got to be very close.
In the ballpark.
You would assume, right? Yeah, he's what? Defused the bomb once, I believe, that I can think of. So.
Dude, do you remember when we used to cast Search and Destroy and it was by like round 6, everybody had those?
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Blast, okay. A kill off the Tempest and a kill off the War Machine, so it might come down to a
specialist
battle.
Bear in mind, Rated's actually close to a grab slam as well. If they could maybe somehow force a round 11, we'll see. Saints opens up with a double, though. 4 players go down. Units, you put up a good fight.
Remember that time Nolson was getting close to the War Machine? UYU felt it, and they said, no, sir. We are going to control with a tied-up series. Effectively, dominance coming out from Blast, and UYU obviously there to back them up in a nice counter strat in that final round.
Good way to put an exclamation mark on a round. We'll just 5 hit a bump site, the other team's there, and you kill them all. Saints opening up with a double. Definitely a big reason for UYU winning that. But 2 relatively unknown teams is our first game, and, well, it's all tied up at 1-1. We'll be right back with Game 3 after this.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's the first game, the first match here of cross-divisional play. It feels great to be back here in the MLG studio, Columbus, Ohio. Back from a fantastic event at Anaheim. The final 2 weeks here, how the year has flown by. Miami next, champs after that. But as we said, 2 weeks of action to go. Our first look here at the newly formed UYU squad, units as well. We have a series on our hands, Chance. We have a series.
And again, it cannot be understated, the importance of getting this first series win. Both teams for seeding, I think both are still possible of making the top 4. Granted, both of these teams need a ton to go their way. I think for, UYU, they have to win at least 3, but then if 2 other teams get to 11 wins, then they can't. It's a lot of weird stuff like that. But even just for the momentum of having confidence in your team, this is a series where both teams need to beat each other.
And it's important to note as well, top 4, what does that mean? Guaranteed you go into the kind of winners portion of playoffs, you go straight into the main bracket. If you're bottom 4 of either division, you will go into a single elimination play-in bracket. It's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, but we'll see who makes the cut come playoffs. For now, though, we head over towards our Arsenal controller. Game 3, and already it's UYU with a life advantage.
Yeah, they've got a nice bit of control on defense as well, of course, though. And talk about nice control you have on the map, and Joe is going to find a way through. Has the distraction for the second man, and Joe, he just finds the opening, creates it, and that is what he is absolutely best at. Well, they went from no map control to all the control over towards B. They got 4 bodies in the hill, and the 5th is going to be short to follow.
It was very bizarre, but Joe makes the play, and that hill is going to be given up completely. But you got to be careful when you cross through to lobby. It's the only way through for UYU defensively. They will manage to get there, but now the problem is a couple players close to streaks. Now, that was the problem in the hard point. Joe, of course, I believe it was 75 points. This time he's 25 points. You need a teammate close to you that can bait, but as he scrambles away, Methods re-peaks. Now it's Nolson's turn at 175. Can he try and secure any? Well, Saints are shooting them all in the back. Nolson turns, has enough time to find the pick. Still close to streak, 75 points as he gives away his life. Maybe a little too keen there. The problem was he was going primarily for the objective as he slid in towards the zone. The flank was there. Joe finds 3 units. Break into A.
Ordinarily try to do analysis. I don't even know what to begin to start to break down because that was a ton of different plays that happened all at the same time. A lot of huge gunfights, one from UYU, but then Joe just comes in and wipes him out. So you got units who were dealt a very difficult hand off the rip. They get one opening, and here they are just winning the game. That third and final tick is going to go through in short order. That is, I mean, that is fast.
That whole round was won pretty much because of Joe.
It was UYU, great opening break. You stay alive, complete mid-map control. You got pressure over towards B. All your bases covered except the fullest of full flanks. Joe is right there. They get the timing perfect. He kills one, stays alive for his teammates to clean up the rest. You get everybody inside, and then eventually he falls. Next Life comes in, picks up 3.
Yeah, just goes, I'll break A, don't worry about it.
he uses his team to break the first hill, and then he just breaks the second one effectively by himself. And by the way, the whole lobby, or at least the entire unit team, are taking their turns working on on streaks.
Look at Joe. He's so close towards that grab slam already. 8-2. A great start for him, and units just kind of flying straight through. Cammy drops through vents. There's 1, there's 2. His turn to get close to streaks unsuccessfully. And Rated, valuing his life, doesn't want to slide through. Smart.
2 and 4 playing for streaks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's 2 and 4, and he's about to get streaks. 150 off. He needs killing some change. And of course, he doesn't get it because every single player from units is going to get oh so close. No cigars for this team, but at the same time, maybe slightly close in lead, and well, now Blast is playing for them streaks. Well, he's not going to get his either, Ben. No streaks.
All right, but A has been capped, so we have 2 minutes 10 on the clock, and relatively close in lives, 25 to 23. But this is where units can park the bus and chance. You know what I want to see? Snipers.
No, this is a horrible idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I think on Arsenal, almost certainly not, unless you know you're playing against like 3 IC. That's fair. Okay. After what Blast just did in the search and join, like, fine. All right. Like, let the man take a shot, but realistically, no, not here. As much fun as I want to have, Ben, not here.
You're a killjoy and a party pooper. As units, like, just managed to find 4 kills, so they even up the life count. 20 to 20, minute 30. Time is ticking, and you can see they've tried to push all the way forward. Now, keep your eye on number 2 on the minimap as well, Nolson. He's doing a bit of a boring job, but he's watching the fullest of full flanks. It was really what Joe did in the last round, which opened up a big hole, and finally he's going to give it up and realize that no one's even had time to rotate because they've all been dying. Plain and simple, a lot of trades going on as, once again, units collapse and UYU are trapped in the spawn.
Yeah, UYU, when they were on defense, had to protect A as the final hill. That is very difficult. It is much easier to hold this B point, especially when units have all the map pressure in the world they could possibly ask for. Anytime you're on Arsenal on offense and you start spawning at the top left corner of the minimap, so it would be the back left of your spawn, you're having a bad time.
Yeah.
That means they are pushed up aggressively in your spawn. They got trophy control, they got lobby control, they got bodies mid-map. There is nowhere to go, and
The flank.
they're just getting funneled in. But there's flanking, and you know Raided's been teaming with Joe. They're going to be ready for it. Yes, he gets taken down, but it's just not the same situation. Classic gets a bit of an opening, but his teammates are nowhere near him.
It's a break, though, which is what they need. Now, Joe has earned himself a Grav Slam. It could be invested. The Tech 5 boost is in. Joe's thinking about it, but Saints is on the flank. It's a 2v1, and unfortunately, Weeman is going to actually kill Joe there, so no potential for the Grav Slam, but do they even need it? Everyone else wins their gunfight. Last man, Blast, is in the lobby. He's been spotted out by Weeman, and Joe is there. This is definitely not a Grav Slam investment you want to see. You save it. You have it round 3. Units are looking very comfortable compared to UYU, at least in their respawn.
And it was just a dominating round from start to finish. Even when it was 12 kills to 10 on the board, maybe you're thinking it's not a massive lead, but just defending the point at a certain moment in the game. As soon as Classic gets through to the site, you're thinking, okay, now we slow it down. No more flying up, no more aggression. We got the 2 lives. Now we play hardcore for that. You got the Swarm to take out Classic, and then you just got to run past the ICRs that are posted up back steps. It's tale of 2 different rounds.
Yeah.
Defending A versus defending B. And frankly, you can defend A as well. If Joe doesn't pick up that 3-piece, it's a feasible situation from UYU. But when you're on offense and you're dealing with the spawns they had for a minute and a half, so difficult.
You gotta be careful though. Joe has Grav Slam, and this could be the play. Is he gonna open it up with a grapple? Well, it's a little delayed. He goes for it straight down the middle. There's 2. One more player backs off towards lobby. In fact, there's 2 in lobby, so good spacing. Is it enough, though, for UYU to try and break through? Nolson finds 1. Great nade from Saints, but it does actually connect with his teammate. There's no more pressure from units actually on the zone, but Weeman has stayed alive with the ICR, so at least keeps some control of the A side.
And based on the looks of it, UYU, I think, were purposely baiting out the Grav Slam.
Yeah.
I think they showed a couple bodies, and the players actually spread themselves out fairly well. Joe just went kind of deep with the Grav, but now the War Machine coming out. You might as well end it here because the other team doesn't even have their specialists yet, so you give it the old college try. Not a ton of success, but once it's back to the gun to see Weeman picking up a couple kills. On the other side, Joe, again, being annoying.
Honestly, Weeman could invest his Tempest if he really wants to. He's trying to heal behind the pillar, but Saints doesn't want to allow it. Weeman, oh, he went for the epic outplay, but it wasn't that epic in the end. Saints shuts him down, and well, UYU will stabilize at least a little bit. Again, bear in mind, Weeman's still with the Tempest, and to your point, you've already used the Grav Slam. You've used the War Machine. You're probably going to get him again if it goes to around 5. You might consider using a Tempest to open things up. The problem is you are running out of time. 20 seconds. You have to touch a zone just to pause the time. Of course, then you won't get your added minute. But the problem is everyone's dying.
Well, Joe on the flank maybe finds a bit of an opening, but Nolson, the next man in, he's going to fall. So, again, as you pointed out, a couple specialists used, and it looks like it's going to be all for naught. But I do appreciate the play call. Because let's just say, hypothetically, this game goes to round 5, the players are fairly likely to earn it back in that amount of time. If they earned it in a round and a quarter for Joe and a round and a half for the next guy, at that pace, and again, the pace might be slowed down if UYU starts winning these rounds, but should be solved for the round 5, should we even see it. So I like the idea.
I mean, you're basically looking at another 3 rounds of gameplay to earn it. It's double the amount of time. You should be fine. We'll see, though. It was Weeman with the best play, but it really didn't have much of an impact. They don't win the round. Good defensive hold from UYU. They get their first control round on the board. Now well, the conversation shifts a little bit towards their specialists and what they have available.
I think it's just a Tempest battle for the moment. Saints a kill away from his War Machine. Phantom's probably 2 away from the Vision Pulse. And, of course, much more pressure on them to invest it. Rated spots out quite a few players. No one's off the map. Classic comes over top and does damage, but UYU is through. Now he's need the help from the teammate. It's the Tempest call, and Wee Man finds the second. A big kill as well, and the break is in. And that's why he saved the Tempest for this exact moment.
Great last shot as well, but can he rotate over towards A quick enough? Problem is he is in vent, and, well, common area you're going to be aimed at, that's for sure. Joe drops 4 dead.
Oh.
UYU just kind of walking towards A there, and that progression will start. Now, the units even want to contest this. Rated putting pressure on the flank. It's going to make UYU think at least a little bit. Problem is, he runs straight in towards Classic. The first tick is in. Phantom has Pulse. You're at a point now where Saints has War Machine. Classic is a kill away from Grav Slam. This could be going the distance. It could be going to that round 5.
They have to know methods here. Okay, I was gonna say he's loud if not, and that player is going to spot him. Gets the nade off, but eventually a player just spawns behind him, so that is 1 life down. Or not spawns behind him, excuse me, flanked behind him. Yeah. Cammy going all the way around.
Classic. Grav Slam available. That was a pistol, by the way.
It's a good pistol.
It's a great pistol.
No streaks for Phantom.
Maddox is a pretty good gun as well.
Yes, it is. I was going to say, it has been interesting to see Rated has been the man with the Maddox rather than the ICR. Weeman and Nolson have kind of switched it up, but a couple, strange roles. We've seen Nolson even with a SOG in this series, so he's just all over the map.
Still looking at Classic to open this up. Grav Slam, so crucial. Is this the time? Not just yet. Nolson knows he's there. The door's still open. And Nolson tagged. This could be Classic's time to just try and fly out, but no. Didn't want to take advantage, and, well, now you're just going to be shot in the back. It's a 2v1, or maybe not. This Classic makes it work. He's played so patiently. Now worried about players coming off spawn, and, well, eventually does get shot in the back. It's a 17-13 advantage here for units with 45 seconds left. And still, a War Machine and Grav Slam available here for UYU. You're getting to the point now where you just need to invest it. It's not, can we invest it, should we? It is, you need to invest it.
Absolutely, and they get 2 kills early. You got 28 seconds before the contest comes in. The Grav Slam just for the opening to get on through. Should find a second kill eventually. His teammate does the job, but you're in the point. You have control, and you're tied 11 lives. You get a trophy system in the hill, and Saints, he's going to hold on to it if he can.
This could be the time for the War Machine. You already have trophies down.
You got to hold it. You got the full setup, or maybe he wants to solidify it. Maybe unnecessary in the end, but you do put the stamp on the round. You get the guarantee, and he gets quite a few kills and some EKIA. So, again, maybe not necessary.
It's a lot of points,
It's a safe call, and you get a ton of points, and you get the guarantee. So, it's not a bad call at all.
I think he might only be 150 away from streaks, because, what, that's 1. There's 2. There's 3. He finds the 4th as well, plus 2 ticks. He's going to be very, very close. Maybe even all the ticks there as well for Saints towards the end. But overall, a good break. It starts with Classic in the Grav Slam. He finally got it off 75 points. Yeah, so that was worthwhile if he gets the streaks, let's just say. Round 5. Blast also 160 away from streaks. Units on the attack. And that is a big first blood to get.
Well, the story mentioned of using the Grav Slam and the War Machine early just because you get him in the round 5 might not come true. Olsen maybe is going to be able to get his ward. Joe, it's looking not very likely for the Grav unless he's going off. And, well, Saints, here it is. This is for the streaks. And doesn't actually win the gunfight. Now he's got TAC 5. It doesn't get easier than shooting someone in the back, but the extra health, well, at least keeps him alive. Still trying to play for it.
He's playing for them hard. Finally finds it in Kitchen. I guess an easier gunfight for him, it feels like. And, well, you have the streaks. When do you want to invest them? He has to deal with Joe at A. Gets that as well. Could drop the Hellstorm because there is still players over towards the outside zone. But as I say that, they're actually cleaned up, and it's a double team kill. Oh, no, 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 no. Error streaks potentially coming through is now UYU. Are they crumbling defensively? Blast has a Tempest. He's going to drop. It's happening. It's happening. Units have broken through.
And Cammy solo cap. He's Saints with the lightning.
Oh,
and it
no!
even find anything, but Cammy doesn't make a difference. Get the spawn kills, kill the lobby. Units in the final rounds got destroyed by Saints, and it did not matter because Saints wanted to take out his own team.
It was almost perfect for UYU. You couldn't have seen that face before. Couldn't have asked for it to be any better. You get the streaks, you get the play, and then all of a sudden, collapse.
And you don't need the streaks, you need the streak. He gets that first lightning, and we're gonna watch it again. Hopefully we start from far back enough to where he first gets the lightning.
I want to watch the whole thing,
Chance.
Chance.
Moment. Oh, we got
everything
around effectively. So they're gonna get, I think it was 2 ticks on B before they like sort of get wiped out. But at the moment Saints earned a lightning strike, he doesn't have to go and hunt Joe down and kill him off the A point. You call in the lightning right away to clear out B by yourself. He ends up spending 15 seconds before he ends up coming back to kill Joe, and then calls in the Hellstorm, and that's where completely spirals out of control. But you already got 2 bodies on the point at B. The second tick goes in. You call the lightning in now, you get 2 kills, and then your teammates are fine. Instead, he trusts his teammates to win the gunfight, which, I mean, they do an okay job, but Cammy's there.
How does this... What?
I don't know where they went. He killed 1 in lobby.
Wait.
I think he killed 1 in lobby, and then 1 he killed in the back.
What was that Hellstorm?
I don't know. It's so.
Hold up.
You can't even.
Wait a minute. That's not even his fault.
That's the game. At least for the second guy.
Both?
But even still, you should have called the lightning in.
I agree. But if you're Cammy, you're thinking, I'm dead. Right? I'm dead.
And then he gets the 2 more.
And then he's just like,
even more
he just kind of looked up at the sky and went, oh no, I'm good. And then killed everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I assume both players were like peeking out the lobby door. I think it was Methods in lobby, but I don't even think he was peeking it. I'm sure he knew. Maybe he got the timing bad. And then the other guy was just in the back. So Saints.
If I'm Saints, I'm
should have called lightning strike sooner. That Hellstorm though, not too bad.
Yeah.
But the results are terrible.
I told you this was going to be a good series. I could sense it. I could sense we were going to have some interesting games today. Units 2-1 up. Cammy making the play at the end. It was a terrible search for him, but a great control, and what a way to end it. Maybe a blessing from the COD gods, but it is Units 2-1 up in the series. We stay on Arsenal, 3rd time in a row for Hardpoint, where we will ask ourselves, can UYU send us to the Game 5 search and destroy? And we'll say, for the most part, Units and their respawn has looked a little bit better. Even Game 1, yes, it was close. It was a seaside. Probably shouldn't have been as close as the score dictated at the end. And you could maybe make the argument UYU actually threw that map away. But more than likely, I would say Units closed this out 3-1.
I don't see any other reason why we get a Game 5.
Yeah, you
I just say at that point, I think we were, what, 7 for 9 back at Anaheim. It's just, we're the Game 5 duo, and, well, UYU obviously wants to force the next one. The opening break, though, goes the way of Units. A near perfect wipe on the map, rated the only man for the Units to fall.
Good start. Now, like to try and earn yourself a big lead, and, of course, more importantly, hold the spawns for the second hill. Well, so far, number 1 has been successful. Number 2, we'll see. Still 27 seconds left on the hill. As UYU really struggling off the rip here, and finally able to find a couple of kills, but the rotation now needs to come through, and you've won a couple of fights. You can leave the first hill. It's going to come down to number 7. That's going to be Methods. He's on a big flank. He's searching. Teammates are there, and I don't know if Units are expecting this.
You have 4 people on Units looking for Saints, and there's players coming in the back for UYU, but eventually Units turn around and they kill them all.
Oh.
So it took them a second to figure it out, but as soon as they did, the gunfight's, well, easily in their direction. Nolson has information on the first player in the back. He gets the timing right, knows about when he's coming through. The stun, though, gonna force him down at the very least, if not outright get him killed. A stun that lasts forever, and Saints will eventually get the job done.
It's a very good stun, that's for sure. As finally, UYU get a little bit of control, but Rated doesn't want that to last long. Contest, and, well, now Control. UYU still with the spawns, though. Put a lot of pressure onto this hill. The problem is, you can have all the spawns you want. If you can't touch the hill, doesn't matter. Units picking up a big chunk of time, and more importantly now, the race over towards the new spawns is on. And who's going to get back control? Nolson's doing a good job of just anchoring that. Kills in transition, though, in favor of UYU.
I mean, you got Nolson and Cammy combined 16-5 right now. 16-4, actually, excuse me. Nolson's on a 3 streak. So you talk about Raiden not having the ICR. Apparently, we can see why. Nolson doing great things early. We'll see if he can keep up the pace. Phantoms, though, obviously a phenomenal ICR in his own right. Gets the drop on him, and now you got triple ICR setup. Not fun to deal with, or maybe not the setup. Classic finds one on the ground, but either way, nice string of kills.
That was actually Phantom's first kill of the game. It just kind of tells you UYU's struggle at the start here. As units, once again, applying the pressure, and it seems things are a little bit more comfortable for units as player close to streaks. I believe that was actually Cammy. It's a 5 streak for him. Can he find one more? Stun is available as he looks to try and pick up any EKA he can. He's also very close to his TAC 5 boost, which would actually give him streaks. And he hangs out just a little longer. Boom, there it is. There's the TAC 5 boost, and there's the lightning.
Nice way to earn streaks. Of course, the rotation is going to be important. And if you want to know how to break the hill, you call in a lightning. You force the players into terrible gunfights. You already got, what is it, Wee Man posted up in the back. Nolson tries to make a break. Saints actually is able to take down one before he gets it, but while Cammy's trapping this final man in and the break is good, you're there.
Gets a Hellstorm, so you achieve the same end goal. Maybe didn't get as many kills as he would have looked for, as not the best position there for an ICR, but units still with control and comfortably as well. The lead could get out of hand here for UYU. Since Hill 1, they have been behind. Since Hill 1, they have been struggling. And those struggles are going to continue further and further.
Well, I will say UYU did make a nice comeback on Seaside. Admittedly, Seaside, and you don't have to deal with the Hellstorm, which Cammy's going to invest straight away. That is going to find a bunch of players. He gets a double kill, but on the other team, much better when it goes that way.
Yeah, I don't even, honestly, that's a pretty good Hellstorm, right? Because it's in rotation. It gives your teammates that extra few seconds to adjust and get ready and waiting. And once again, it's units first to the party. New Hill pops. And the kills all in their favor. It's over a 100-point lead now for the Europeans. Things are spiraling drastically out of control for UYU to the point now where are they even going to be able to get triple-digit points?
And Ben, I'm going to bring it back up. I think right at the top of the show, we mentioned, we were like, I even tweeted out, I'm expecting UYU to win the series, but that's mostly just off of name recognition. Not necessarily based off of the information we've got from Black Ops 4, right? Because you got 2 players on the side of units. The men you're maybe less familiar with than Rated and Dro. Nolson Weeman, they have a top 6 on the year.
Yep.
Of course, they don't qualify for the league, but clearly they've shown at some point very capable, which in this game, at the very least, shown it once again.
Definitely are, but UYU looking to be down 100 after the first rotation. Now watch out, Saints is getting close to streaks, and when I say watch out, I mean his teammates. After that last control blunder, has War Machine available. Is this maybe the time to pop it? No, it's not. Great challenge from units. They shut down any likelihood of a comeback there for Saints and momentum and streaks. And now once again, the control is in for units as they build the lead bigger and bigger.
See how long they can get this hold for. Right now, you got an ICR that is just dipping and diving. Finally, Nolson falls. Saints again showing up in the feed. He's trying to have himself a nice little game, but as soon as he picks up 2, Rated responds in kind and then proceeds to stun his teammate and get him killed.
It was a great concept, right? Jump up, hip fire, shoot the door open, throw the stun gun. What actually happened was you jumped, you got shot in the side, you botched your stun your teammate, who then also dies. Finally, Hill broken, but this is pretty much over.
I also,
like 3-1 units.
I'm fairly certain Paradox is trying to talk to us through like his driving. He keeps highlighting methods and phantoms, just pointing out that methods 6 and 16 and 6 and 13.
Not been great.
He's going back and forth, not showing their perspectives because it would just be showing the deaths, right? But I think he's trying to get us to acknowledge it. And well, classic, another solid grass slam. Finally, UYU, a little bit of potential, even dealing with the vision pulse. They're having at least some success.
I mean, it took 3 hills.
Until the vision pulse is gone, and then you're all dead.
Yep. I was going to say, it took 3 hills for Phantoms to actually find his first kill, so no surprise that struggle is still going on. Joe, there's 2, grab slam available. Is he thinking about it? Well, he's gone a little bit of a parkour route, but could achieve the same thing. Stays alive, 226.87, and he really wants to go for it. You can tell he wants it. There's 2 in front of him. finally falls, but his teammates, again, finding all the kills.
Well, this is the 7th hill of the game. We're rotating into our 8th. And so that means Methods and Phantoms averaging a kill per hill, which is below average. I'm going to guess. I don't have that information from JP. But if I was to take a guess.
I think that's a pretty good guess.
So not official. Don't quote me, because I might be wrong.
I doubt it.
It's not from JP. Can it be trusted?
JP, if you're out there on the interwebs watching, can you please confirm that that is in fact below average, just for clarification?
Kills per hill. It'll probably be about like 3.2. That would be my guess.
So more than them, for sure. Just 4 more points for units, and with 30 seconds if you really wanted to. You could just rotate. Or if you really wanted to, you could 5-man late push just to be a pain. Play for scrap time, and it seems like for units, they want to try and go for it. They want the push. 20 seconds on the clock, a break here to seal the deal, and a fate of our first series here of cross-divisional play, or UYU looking at an incredible comeback. Not gonna happen. Units take the series 3-1, and as you mentioned, and rightfully so, that could be big for confidence for the Europeans.
And they really did look great. And it was Nolson that was having great performances. Cammy in that last game had a great performance. Weeman in the control was doing incredible work as well. So solid stuff from the Europeans. And you got guys coming from the open bracket. You got to imagine they're hungry. They get that first one on board, and that's just to get the ball rolling. That is just for confidence and potentially seeding as well.
Yeah.
But in my mind, mainly for confidence, just to be like, okay, we can do this.
I think it's more as well, just kind of, but let me just prove a point, right?
Yeah.
We belonged here, especially for a couple of them. You go back to the start of the year, a couple of players don't qualify. It's like, well, no, we belong here, and I want to prove that we belong here. And a great start for units. A 3-1 victory against UYU. Yes, maybe not the most high profile of teams that you can beat, but it doesn't matter. A win is a win. You're getting those repetitions on land, which is going to be so crucial because you don't have a long time up until playoffs, and every win is going to count. To your point, in terms of seeding, where you're going to finish in your division, whether it's going to be top 4, automatically make it to the playoff bracket, or maybe bottom 4, where you're going to have to go through a single and play-in bracket. Not going to be pretty if it's that.
And it's going to be very difficult as well. And even just for this seeding, right? I think it's like the top 10 gets some money. So every single match, every single map is going to matter because tie breaks always come into effect as well. And I can't even imagine the tiebreaker situations for what we have here. They're wild and open events. So for playoffs, you got to imagine it's just as bad.
Well, units for the 3-1 victory. Jess is down on the main stage for our PlayStation Instant Reaction. We rate it.
Thank you, Ben. Why did we see such a seemingly easy hard point the second time after the first one was so close?
I think the first one's just Seaside. Like everyone knows Seaside. Like every hill is easy to hold on Seaside. So usually the team who wins the rotation holds the hill. So like naturally the maps are going to be closer. But I think we started good on the Seaside. It's just, like I said, it's harder to break hills on Seaside.
Before the match, we chatted a little bit about the importance of trusting your teammates. You said that's something you really have in this team. Can you tell me more about why that trust is so important?
Like I said, in both our previous teams, Red Reserve and the old Denar roster, players on the team thought they'd have to do more than they did because they didn't trust teammates to do, get a kill, get a trade. And I feel like on this team, obviously I picked up 3 younger players from Europe who have been wanting to get in the league for years. I feel like they just trust everyone's comms and they just trust together. And this game is like everyone says in every interview, it's just teamwork.
All right, well, going forward, what are you expecting for the remainder of this week of Cross Division?
I don't know. Our S&D's rusty, obviously, because we're a new team. Our first scrim was yesterday, so UYU are diabolical. But I think S&D just comes along with playing together. So as soon as we fix up on our S&D, I'll meet any team, same as any game.
All right, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jess. And you heard it there from Rated Units taking it 3-1 over UYU to start off our week. And
diabolical. Sheesh. He's right.
Okay, Study, what are your first impressions then from what we saw out of Cammy, Nolson, Weeman on this new roster?
They put on a great performance there. That first map went down to the wire. We saw a beautiful play out of Nolson. He was able to block the back spawn by just pushing that back right, giving his teammates enough time to push up on the steps, force UYU to spawn out, and that's the way they were breaking. They broke the second hill. I mean, broke that map and won the first map. They went to the S&D. Obviously, you heard Rated in that interview. Just not there. The teamwork isn't there. But overall, the team just looked like in every single respawn, they were clicking way more than UYU was. The teamwork was definitely there.
Way more than UYU, but still not that good.
Yeah.
They probably should have lost that first map. They were in position to win. They made a terrible play, and then they still got lucky and broke the back. Because Nolson, right before he made that good play you speak of, he pinched all the way around the second hill at the very end, trying to to break from the back. They almost got trapped.
Yeah.
They've committed to the scrap and were screwed because UYU was set up. But since UYU is a new team, they didn't have their setup on point, and they lost that hill at the very end. But like, you know, they could have easily won that, and that would have been a terrible loss.
If it was a more solid pro team with practice behind them, they would have just pushed Nolson off dirt and killed him. Like, that's what we always see. Whenever team has Fountain Hill, we're always like, oh, this is over. It's so hard to break. They had no specialists, no streaks.
Yep.
But they didn't kill him, and Rated came in from the front and got a couple kills, and those guys spawned out.
They got broke from mid lane.
Yeah, they got broke from the middle lane. That's
actually,
unacceptable.
Joe was leading the push. He like tried to go all the way around the outskirts of the map, and they spotted him, and then they killed all three of them. Like one player on units jumped off the map, and then somehow got broken. Like I believe Methods was the only guy inside that room. That was terrible. It was just terrible.
Okay, Pat, going off of that discussion, and this question might play into what you guys just talked about, but what are some of the biggest differences you see in teams like UYU and Units versus, say, 100 Thieves and Optic Gaming when you watch these series?
There's worlds of difference between those teams. One, just individually, the players are more skilled on Optic Gaming and 100 Thieves. Two, like if 100 Thieves was in that position that UYU put themselves in, they would have closed out that map with ease. There would have been no chance they broke the hill. Their setups are just way tighter than these teams. These are brand new teams. So there's just a lot they have to do before they even are in that realm of competition. And, I mean, good for Units, though. Their teamwork for a team that has no practice. I asked Rated before the match. He said, yeah, we played one day, but we'll be fine. All you have to do is be on the same page. And to their credit, they look pretty much on the same page in the respawns. They still have to work on their decision-making because, like Ant said, they still probably should have lost that first match. And you could argue they could have lost the control had not on that team Hellstorm.
Two people.
Honestly, he got a little bit unlucky because I didn't even see those guys on the Hellstorm map, but he shouldn't have put it so close to lobby. But the second guy was the unlucky guy. But still,
I mean,
they put themselves in position to win the game for a brand new team. That's really good.
Yeah, like when Joe just jumped out of the doorway and like essentially
that was a mind-blowing round.
Yeah.
They were about to cap A, and Joe just flies out of their lobby and dies, and that round spirals out of control, which kind of starts the UYU train. But, you know, other than that, I mean, there's a ton of mistakes, but, I mean, they can go back and learn from this. Like, this is how every team starts. So they have a good foundation to build upon. Like, they have players stepping up in times that they need, and they look okay.
All right, let's pull up our schedule. We still have 3 more series to get through for the day. And coming up next, that is going to be Enigma 6 versus Luminosity Gaming. Of course, E6 coming in top 6 there at Anaheim, and LG top 12. And again, if you're just tuning in now, we had Units taking down UYU, both drastically new rosters, 3-1. Units, of course, getting that win with Rated feeling a little diabolical. But coming up next, we're going to be talking E6 versus LG.